Have you ever felt stuck? Like no matter how hard you push, nothing seems to change? What if I told you that the breakthrough that you're waiting for, it isn't in the result, but it's in the journey itself? Today, we're going to uncover why embracing the process, even the hard parts, is the secret to becoming the strongest version of yourself. My name is Dr. Gene A. White Jr., and I am the founder of Pinnacle Ascent Coaching and the Hijack My Life Podcast. I've made it my mission to help you and others just like you to unlock your potential, to be a more authentic leader, and to leave a lasting impact. So let me be the first to say to you, welcome to the pack. Today, we're going to be exploring the first topic in a series that I've called Hype Sessions, which stands for helping you persevere every day. Now, I know life is a struggle. I've been on that struggle bus. Shoot, I had a perpetual bus pass on that joint. But for me, it wasn't about the years of the struggle or the challenges that I faced. It was more about realizing that those moments were building the person that I was becoming today. So through this series of videos, I hope that you find value and you get some actionable steps that will help you to get off the struggle bus and into your fulfilled, authentic self. After all, the strongest leaders aren't those who avoided the struggle. They're the ones who embraced it. They embraced the process. They let it shape their character. So let's dive into today's topic as we climb to the pinnacle of our potential. Today, we're going to be talking about embracing the journey because it's not about where you've been, but it's more about where you're going. I want to introduce you to the story of the farmer and the bamboo tree. And if you've heard this story before, then pay attention to the application. A farmer once planted a bamboo seed and watered it every day, waiting for it to grow. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, months into years. Nothing happened. His neighbors, they laughed at him, saying he was wasting his time, and the farmer didn't stop. On the 5th year, something incredible happened. The bamboo shot up over 90 feet in 6 weeks. What the farmer didn't see was that all of those years of watering and care, they had been building the roots, making them strong, underground, preparing this bamboo to grow quickly and withstand the winds to come. But here's the twist. The farmer wasn't just growing the bamboo, he was growing himself. Through persistence and faith in what he couldn't see, he built character to succeed in the long term. So what I want you to take away from this is that when it feels like nothing is happening, just trust the process. Your roots are growing deeper, preparing you for exponential growth. See, growth is not an event, it's more of a process, a slow and steady, sometimes painful process. And it's easy to look at someone who seems successful and think, they must have figured it all out at once. But that's rarely the case. You see, growth doesn't happen in giant leaps. It happens in the tiny, often unnoticed steps that we take every single day. So let's think back to that farmer. We talked about how all of his neighbors, they called him a fool for watering this bare spot in the ground for all this time with no results. His faith never wavered. He didn't give up. Your personal growth, it works the same way. Every moment of discomfort, every challenge you face, every small decision you make, they're all a part of building your roots. Even if you don't see the results right away, progress is happening. It may feel slow, but it's happening. So sometimes we get discouraged because we want to see the instant results. We live in a world that celebrates speed. We want quick fixes, overnight success, instant gratification. But true growth, the kind that transforms who you are at your core, that it takes time. So what's important is not how fast you grow, but that you keep moving forward. Think about a stream that's carving its path through solid rock. It doesn't just happen in a day, but with persistence and consistency, that water reshapes even the hardest surfaces. So when you feel like you're not where you want to be, just remember, growth is not a race. It's a gradual and continuous process. Every step you take, no matter how small, is moving you closer to the person that you're meant to be. Embrace the process, trust your journey, and know that the work that you're putting in is now building something remarkable, even if you can't see it yet. There were so many times that I procrastinated in my life. In fact, I've referred to myself as a master procrastinator on more than one occasion in my life. Can you resonate with that? I often wondered why I would do that to myself. I'd wait to the last minute to do things and then stress immediately because the deadline was coming up. There was a due date, or my money was running on E and I had a bill that was due and I didn't know how I was going to pay it. You know, the struggle bus. Even starting this business and this YouTube channel, it was no different. Recording this video, no different. To be honest, I had to sit down and have a tough talk with myself, and I asked myself, why am I like this? And I realized that I procrastinated on doing things for 3 reasons, which I'll go into more detail about in another video. But to answer to all of those things was that procrastination in general, the answer to that, I just had to start because progress is the goal. It wasn't about being perfect. I'm reminded of the story of the painter who never finished his masterpiece. He spent years trying to create it. He worked tirelessly on one canvas, obsessing over every brushstroke, but he was never satisfied. Every time he got close to finishing, he'd see a flaw. He'd scrape off that paint, then he'd start again. One day, after decades of work, this painter passed away, leaving his canvases unfinished. And when his family went into his studio, they were stunned. Behind the unfinished painting were hundreds of discarded canvases, each one unique, vibrant, and full of life. And it turned out that his true masterpiece wasn't one painting, it was the entire journey of his work. So what he thought was failure was actually the success of his life's journey all along. So for you, don't wait for a perfect moment. Don't wait for a perfect outcome. The beauty of your life is in the act of creating, failing, and growing. That's your masterpiece. Look, I built so many websites and coaching packages and ideas for podcasts and episodes and video concepts. And each time fear crawled back into the back of my mind and doubt made a permanent residence in my psyche. And I let it win for a while, but the site was not perfect and the offer wasn't right. And I questioned who would pay for my services? Who do I think that I am to provide wisdom or give tips that have shaped me to be who I am today? Who I wanted to be. I wanted to be perfect for you, but I'm not perfect. And neither are you. Your gift, your wisdom, your leadership, it's perfect for someone else. It's not about me, it's about you and what you need that can possibly be gleaned from this channel or any episode of the podcast, or if you decide to connect with me in the future for one-on-one coaching or group coaching. If I don't share what I've been called to share with you, then I'm being selfish, and that's unfair to you. That goes the same for you. Embrace your journey. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, I'm giving you permission right now. You don't need my permission, but I'm giving it to you. You have the permission to be clumsy, to be clunky, unrefined, messy. As long as you just start today, it'll get better through the mistakes. It'll get better with time. Just don't wait. You got this. And most of all, let go. Just let it go. I get it. You got a past. Stuff happened. You got hangups. These hangups that you think will prevent you from doing the thing, whatever it is that, you think you can't do. Well, we all do. Trust me. Our past has a way of holding on to us, doesn't it? We replay those mistakes, relive painful moments, and cling to the regrets as if they define us. But here's the truth. Your past is a chapter in your story. It's not the whole book. So think of it this way. If you're driving a car and you can't move forward if you're constantly staring in the rearview mirror. See, that rearview mirror is there to glance at, to learn from, and to see what's behind you. But your focus belongs on the road ahead. If you dwell too long on what's in the mirror, you're going to miss what's right in front of you. And you might even crash. So letting go of that past, it isn't about pretending that it didn't happen. It happened. But it's about deciding that it doesn't get to control you. Not anymore. That hurt, the failures, the missed opportunities, they can teach you, but they don't define you. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the sum of what you choose to do next. So consider this. When a snake sheds its skin, it leaves the old layer behind to make room for growth. And that's what letting go of your past does for you. It frees you to grow into the person that you're becoming. But letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means that you're reframing. Instead of saying, I failed, say, I learned. Instead of thinking, I was hurt, say, I became stronger. Not about erasing the past, it's about using it to build a better future. What if the very thing that you're holding on to is the one thing that's holding you back? What if the weight of regret, shame, or anger is what's keeping you from soaring? The moment that you decide to release that weight, you give yourself permission to rise. So maybe you should just ask yourself, what are you holding on to that no longer serves you? What stories from your past do you need to rewrite? Because the road ahead is wide open, but you can't walk it if you're still carrying the burdens of yesterday. Let go. Not because it's easy, but because you deserve the freedom to move forward. Your past, it isn't your prison, it's your launching pad. Remember that. It'll get uncomfortable, but it's worth it. Discomfort and pain, they're part of the journey. There's no avoiding them. But here's the truth. The moments that stretch you the most are the ones that grow you the most as well. When you lift weights, you're not building muscle by staying comfortable. You're creating tiny tears in the muscle fibers through strain and effort. It's in the healing of those tears that your muscles become stronger. And the same principle applies to your personal growth. The discomfort that you feel today, that's the foundation for the strength that you'll carry on tomorrow. We live in a world that tells us you got to avoid pain, numb it, escape it. But what if instead of running from it, you leaned into it? Pain isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. It reveals your limits and shows what you're capable of and pushes you to go further than you ever thought you could. Think about a diamond that's formed under intense heat and pressure. Without that pressure, it will remain just another piece of coal. The discomfort that you're feeling isn't there to destroy you, it's there to transform you into something more. But let's be honest, discomfort is uncomfortable for a reason. It's messy, it's frustrating, and it can make you question why you're even trying. In those moments, remind yourself, this is temporary. This is progress in disguise. Pain isn't permanent, and it's a part of the process. The key is to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? Every challenge, every setback, every painful moment has something to offer if you're willing to look for it. Sometimes the things that we think are breaking us are actually making us. It's like when a seed is planted in the soil. Remember that. From the outside, it looks like it's being buried and crushed, but underground, in the dark, it's breaking open. It's taking root. It's preparing to grow. The seed doesn't fight discomfort. It uses it to become something greater. So the next time that you face discomfort, don't resist it. Embrace it. Let it teach you. Let it shape you. Because every time that you push through the pain, you're proving to yourself and the world that you're stronger than you think. Pain isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of your transformation. So now that we've talked about embracing the journey and letting go of your past and facing the discomfort head on, let's focus on something that you can take with you today, right now. Practical tools that will help you to navigate this process, because it's one thing to know the path, but it's another to walk it each and every single day. So here are 3 simple, actionable tools that you can start using right now to stay grounded and focused on your journey. Number 1, you want to journal and reflect and reframe. So first off, journaling isn't about writing a novel, obsessing over perfect words. It's about giving yourself the space to reflect on your thoughts, your progress, and your experiences. So every night, ask yourself these 3 questions. What did I learn today? What am I proud of? And what can I do better tomorrow? Now, by putting your thoughts on paper, you can track your own growth. You can identify patterns, and most importantly, you can reframe the negative experiences. Instead of seeing failure, you start to see lessons. Journaling helps you to own your story, and when you own your story, it stops owning you. The second thing I want you to do is break your goals into milestones. You want to break those goals into smaller milestones. The journey can feel overwhelming when you're staring at the mountaintop from the base, but the secret is that you don't climb a mountain by taking one big leap. You take one step at a time. So write down your big goal, but then break it down into manageable steps that you can accomplish along the way. And don't forget to celebrate those tasks, each and every one of those smaller goals that you get. Small, consistent actions lead to bigger, lasting change. Remember, progress, not perfection. That's the goal. And affirmations. You want to use affirmations to reprogram your mindset. The way you talk to yourself matters more than what you realize. If you tell yourself, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, guess what? Your mind believes it. But if you flip the script and you tell yourself, I'm capable, or I'm becoming stronger every day, you start to believe that too. Here's one that you can start with. I am not defined by my past. I am driven by my future. Write it down, say it aloud every morning. Speak life into your journey, because what you focus on, you become. These tools, journaling, breaking your goals into milestones, and affirmations, they're simple, but they're powerful when they're practiced consistently. They help you to focus on what's within your control and remind you of your progress, and then also reframe your mindset for growth. So just remember, the journey isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up each day for yourself, showing up for those that need you, taking the small steps forward. Use these tools as your guide, and I promise you, you'll see the changes both in how you approach life and in the person that you're becoming. So tell me, what's one tool that you're going to be using and start using today? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're embracing your journey. Now that we've talked about embracing the journey, I want to leave you with a thought to kind of carry along into the next session in this particular series. So as you move forward, it's not just about taking the steps. It's about understanding why you're taking them in the first place. You see, the journey, it becomes more powerful and more meaningful when you know what you're walking towards. Your why is the anchor that keeps you steady when the road gets tough. It's the fuel that pushes you forward when everything in you wants to stop. Without it, it's easy to lose focus, to give up, or feel like your effort doesn't matter. So in the next session, we're going to dive deep into discovering your why. Why do you want to grow? Why do you want to reach your goals? And what's the biggest purpose? What is your bigger purpose behind your perseverance? Because when you know your why, every step that you take, even the hard ones, it takes on new meaning. So between now and then, I want you to reflect on this. What is driving me forward? What do I care about so deeply that it gives me the strength to keep going, even when it's tough? I want you to think about that, write it down, sit with it, and then bring that clarity back to the next video. Thank you so much for joining me on this session of H.Y.P.E, where we're helping you to persevere every day. Remember, embracing the journey, it isn't just about where you're going, it's more about who you're becoming along the way. If you're ready to take your growth to the next level, I've got something just for you in the description below. You'll find a link that you can download my free resource, Mastering Authenticity, a guide for mid-level professionals. Now, this comprehensive guide is packed with insights to help you align your personal values with your professional goals and take those actions. You can build trust and create meaningful relationships. These relationships leave a lasting impact to others. So don't stop here. Keep that momentum going. Just go down into the description, click on the card that you see for the next session that you have here, and keep going. Let's look at the next video, because we're going to dive into one of the most important steps in your journey, and that is discovering your why. So make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a comment. Let me know how it's going. What tools are you going to be using today? I love to hear how you're embracing your journey. And remember, don't just settle for your potential. Go for the pinnacle. Let's keep in touch. Let's keep climbing together. I'll see you in the next session. Peace.